channel. I'm Kaylee. I'm a homeschooling mom of 2, and today I wanted to share with you a little bit about Lightning Literature. We used grade 4 this last year and are planning to use grade 5 for the upcoming school year. So I wanted to do a little bit of a review and a look through of Lightning Literature. So I'm going to switch the camera view so that you can actually get a look at what these books look like. So here is the Lightning Literature Grade 4 Teacher's Guide. I can share with you the books that Level 4 uses. The Earth Dragon Awakes, Morning Girl, The One and Only Ivan, Gone Fishing, Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, The Family Under the Bridge, Nim's Island, The Dreamer, Love That Dog, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, Tug Everlasting, and The Borrowers. We have really enjoyed all of these books. I have been reading the majority of them aloud with her, and my son listens in also. I did have her read Love That Dog on her own. It is kind of a bit more of a poetry book. It's written in poem format, so she read that one on her own. And the rest of them we have read together. Gone Fishing is also written in poetry format. So in this level, those two are kind of your poetry units, and that will change a little bit in the level 5. So this is the teacher's guide, and it goes through each week, gives you the week at a glance what your student is going to be working on, and then it gives you the answer key to the grammar and the comprehension questions, and then it tells you a little bit about how much they should be writing kind of each day for the composition portion. I did not use the teacher's guide super often unless there was sentence diagramming, and then I referred back to this as to how exactly she should be doing that. We did not do the composition portion in this year because she was taking a separate writing class. Each book also, one of the things I like, at the end of each book there is a literature book discussion, and it discusses the theme, story, character, setting, external details, internal details, conflict, and symbolism. So it has a good discussion that you can have. If you haven't read the book with your student or on your own, then it does give you a lot more detail so that you can discuss it with your student. I still prefer to generally read the book either with my student, or I would rather, even if she was reading it on her own, I would still like to read the books because I enjoy reading too, and I like to be able to participate a little bit more in the discussion and of the books. But other than that, I haven't used the teacher's guide a whole lot. I did use this for some of the book discussions just to remind myself of which things we should be hitting on, and asking her, about the characters and things like that to see what she gained from the books. Now this does also do sentence diagramming, and I didn't remember diagramming sentences quite like this, so I do have to refer back to this sometimes whenever we're doing some of the diagramming, just to remember what goes where, and she has needed quite a bit of help with the diagramming. It does have some explanation in the student pages though. This is an example of the student pages for grade 4. I do take the student books apart at the beginning of the year, and I just give her each week by week. Now, if you want to, you can give your student this checklist, and it gives them what they need to do each day. This is set up for a 4-day school week, so each Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or whichever days you do school. And then, 4 pages for grammar, and it breaks down your writing into what you should be doing each part of those days. And it does have a few extra optional activities if you want to add those. So then each page is labeled. I really like This is labeled week 34, day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4, and they are all color coordinated. So each book has, one color at the top. So I really like that. Now at this point, this week is far enough into the year that this is just grammar review. So these pages don't have a lot of instruction. So this is where she's kind of struggling now because it doesn't have a lot of instruction on the page. And I think she just really kind of struggles with retaining rules. We've had the same issue with spelling. She just doesn't quite retain the rules that she's needed to remember each thing, even when the review. She can do it fine once when she's learned it or has the instructions right above it, but then coming back to it later, she doesn't remember what she did before. So we have enjoyed it. We really enjoyed all of the books that were in level 4, and I think that it's good for her to have the grammar practice daily. We will be adding in supplemental grammar practice for next year just because I feel like she needs more consistent review of the parts of speech. So this was level 4, and I'm going to give you a look into the level 5 because I have the full student book here. So you can see a little bit more of what it looks like. It is quite thick. And then this is the teacher's guide for level 5, which is essentially set up just the same. It's got your book discussions, it's got your answers to the reading comprehensions and the workbook pages, and it breaks down the composition into what each thing they should be writing that day, kind of how much progress they should make each day. But again, the composition does not give specific instruction. It doesn't have any kind of worksheets for that, no pages giving details on how to improve their sentences or their paragraphs or anything like that. So we will also be adding in some extra to help with the composition, but we do plan to use their prompts for most of the composition. We probably will not do each week because sometimes it's only, a week or two, and we probably won't do necessarily the same topic. If it says research paper on an important sports event, I'll probably let her pick a research topic on whatever she wants. But if it correlates to the stories, then we will maybe go with the topics of their compositions. This does also sometimes have optional materials for extra things. I just noticed that. I wonder if that's new in this one. I remember that from last. So apparently it has some optional materials. I guess if you wanted to study some extra on the same topics as your literature. But this is the teacher's guide. And here is the student workbook. So in level 5, these are the books that you'll be doing. And here you can see the beautiful color coding. The teacher's guide is all black and white. Student books are color, and I really love it. I think it makes them very nice. The books are The Mighty Miss Malone, Holes, Number the Stars, Boy, Tales of Childhood, The Tripods, Brown Girl Dreaming, The Phantom Tollbooth, I Am Malala, and Anne of Green Gables. And you can see how many weeks each one takes. And then in between here, every couple of books, they have a poetry unit. In level 5, the poems for each unit are actually inside of this book. So you can see week 7, page 83. For week 7, it has the poems written right in here. So they don't have to have an extra book for those weeks. So here for a week, you have your week 1 checklist. The chapters they'll read, the grammar pages, and if you're doing the composition, it breaks down what they should do each week or each day of the week. This is set up for a 4-day week again, just like level 4, week 1, day 1, week 1, day 2, week 1, day 3, week 1, day 4. So that is about how much work is in for a week. It has reading comprehension questions, and then for grammar, it will have all the information that they need for the lesson, and then the grammar work for each day. It does not have any kind of writing or for the composition, it doesn't have notes what they should be doing each day or any pages for that. The only option for them is to have that right here, so that if they use the checklist, they can look here, or you might have to write them a note for what they're doing for the composition, or if you use a different form for them to have a checklist of what they're doing. So let's see, this one, the first part I think is kind of a review. So let's see whenever we get further in. Week 8. So here is the grammar, and it actually has kind of a lesson here that tells you about subjects and predicates. So they can read this and learn what's a subject, what's a predicate, and then learn how to separate that in these sentences over here for their practice. So then over here talks about compound subjects and predicates, and it starts showing you some examples of diagramming. It does look like they're kind of going back to the basics here. This kind of is, I guess, about in the diagramming where she got at the end of the level 4. Some of her sentences were starting to look kind of like this. And then some sentences and a sentence to diagram. And again, grammar here tells you what to do. And examples for diagramming and some sentences to diagram. And again, more information here and sentences. So it does seem to work through the grammar. You know, each day has kind of a similar but different topics. Sometimes there's a lot more reading to do on the grammar. This is where she kind of sometimes comes to me and says, I don't know what to do. And then I ask her, well, did you read what it tells you to do? No, she didn't read the pages. If she reads the pages, so a lot of times I have to go over these pages together with her. If you have a student that is pretty good at grammar, they could probably read this and do it themselves pretty independently. And if you have a student that likes to read the books on their own, they can read the book, they can answer the questions, they can do the grammar, and they can work on it independently, really, if you want them to. Or if they prefer to work that way. My daughter still prefers that I read to her, so I read most of it with her. This year, I might start making her do some of the reading to me in some of maybe the shorter books, or maybe just alternating back and forth. We have done Number the Stars before as a read aloud, so that one I probably actually will have her read on her own. But the rest of these, I've read The Phantom Tollbooth, but she's probably going to want me to read that one with her. So all the books, though, look really good. Also, I've read Anne of Green Gables, but that has been so many years that I'm looking forward to reading it again with her. So I hope this helps you get a little bit of a better look into the Lightning Literature Grade 5. I really love how colorful these books are. And she has enjoyed it and actually asked to do it again. So if she's asking for it, then that's what I was going to go ahead and get it for her. So hopefully, if you have any more questions, then just let me know in the comment below and I will answer them as best as I can. Hope you enjoyed this look at Lightning Literature. Thanks for watching.